to become the energy superpower, the real stimulus that we've been waiting for is robust and responsible domestic energy production. We have the resources. Affordable, secure energy is the key to any thriving economy, and it must be our foundation. So I would do the opposite of Obama's manipulation of U.S. supplies of energy. Drill here, drill now, let the refineries and the pipelines be built. Stop kowtowing to foreign countries and dictators, asking them to ramp up production and industry for us, promising them that, oh, we'll be their greatest customer. No, but we have the resources here. We need to move on tapping our own God-given natural resources that are part of our I promise you this will bring real job growth, not the politicians' phony green jobs, fairy dust sprinkled with wishes and glitter and no, but a hardcore, all of the above energy policy that builds this indestructible link between made in America energy and our prosperity and our security.
Right.
You know, there are enough conventional, long and large conventional natural resource development projects just waiting in the wings, waiting for government approval that could create more than 1 million high-paying jobs all across the U.S. And this is true stimulus. It wouldn't cost government a dime to allow the private sector to do these. In fact, these projects will generate billions of dollars. Can you imagine that? A stimulus project that actually helps dig us out of debt instead of digging us further into it. And these are good-paying jobs, and I know that from experience for years. My own family supported as Todd worked up on the North Slope by a good energy sector job. America's economic revival starts with America's energy revival. Okay, and then fifth, we can and we will make America the most attractive country on earth to do business in. Here's how we're going to do this. Right now, we have the highest federal corporate tax rate in the industrialized world. Did you know our rates are higher than China and communist Cuba? This doesn't generate as much money as you would think, though, because many big corporations, they skirt federal taxes because they have the friends in D.C. who write the rules for the rest of us. This makes us less competitive and restrains the engine of prosperity. Heck, some businesses, they spend more time trying to figure out how to hide their profits than they do in generating more profits so that they can expand and hire more of us. So to make America the most attractive and competitive place to do business, to set up shop here and hire people here, to attract capital from all over the globe that will lead to an explosion of growth instead of chasing industry offshore. I propose to eliminate all federal corporate income tax. And hear me out on this. This is how we create millions of high-paying jobs. This is how we increase opportunity and prosperity for all. But here's the best part. To balance out any loss of federal revenue from this tax cut, we eliminate corporate welfare and all the loopholes, and we eliminate bailouts. This is how we break the back of crony capitalism because it feeds off corporate welfare, which is just socialism for the very rich. Yeah. We can change all of that. The message then to job-creating corporations is, yeah, we'll unshackle you from the world's highest federal taxes, but you will stand or fall on your own, just like all the rest of us. See, when we empower the job creators, our economy will soar. Americans will get back to work. This plan is a first step in a long march towards fundamental restoration of a strong and free market economy, and it represents the kind of real reform that we need. And folks, it must come from you. It must come from the American people. Real hope is in you. It's not that hopey-changey stuff that we heard about back in 2008. We've all learned that. And real hope isn't in an individual. It's not in a politician, certainly. And that hopey-changey stuff that was put in an individual back when Barack Obama was a candidate, that hopey-changey stuff didn't create one job in August, did it? That's the first time that's happened in the United States since World War II. No jobs created. Remember, government can't create jobs either. I get frustrated when the media gets that all wrong too, talking about how government created this job or that. Government can't create a job. It's the private sector that creates the jobs. And that's the government, we got to get that right. Real hope comes from you. Real hope comes from realizing that we, the people, can make the difference. And you don't need a title to make a difference. We can get this country back on the right track. We can do it by empowering the people and realizing that, man, God has richly blessed this most exceptional nation. And then we do something about that realization. Don't wait for the permanent political class to reform anything for you. They won't. They can't. They can't even take responsibility for their own actions. Our credit is downgraded, but it's not their fault. Our economy's in turmoil, but it's not his fault. It's the tsunami in Japan, or the Middle East uprising. It's Irene. It's those doggone ATM machines. Folks, the truth is, Barack Obama is adrift with no plan because his fundamental transformation, it's at odds with everything that made this country great. It doesn't make sense. He doesn't make sense. Unbelievably, our president declares that he believes in American exceptionalism, just as the Greeks believe in Greek exceptionalism. Well, the path he has us on will make us just as exceptional as Greece, all right? The debt crisis and the stagnation and unemployment and uprisings and all. Friends, you are better than that. Our country is better than that. We've got to unite. We've got to stand together. We can confront the problem and we can achieve lasting reform. And I can tell you from hard-earned experience with bumps and bruises along the way that the road ahead is not easy. You will be demonized. They'll mock you. They'll make things up. They'll tell you to go to hell. But we'll bite our tongue, we'll keep it classy, and we won't respond, as tempting as it is, to anyone who just has such disdain for our free market economy and for individual initiative and responsibility. We won't say, no, you go to hell. No, we won't say that. We won't say that. Time-tested truth and logic on our side, we win. And when we refuse to retreat because we know that our children's future is at stake, we win. No, the road isn't easy, but it's nothing compared to the suffering and the sacrifice of those who came before us. A few weeks ago, it was after my visit to the Iowa State Fair, and we were on the bus tour. I took my daughter Piper and my niece McKinley with us to the World War I Liberty Memorial in Kansas City. And standing in the rain, reading the inscriptions there on those memorials about the honor in one's dedication to God and country, I thought of all those young patriots who suffered and died so far from home, and revering our vets there, with the next generation by my side, there was such clarity There's clarity in our calling, patriotic constitutionalists. We have a duty, not just to the living, but to those who came and died before us, and to the generations yet to be born. Our freedom was purchased by millions of men now long forgotten throughout history who charged the bayonets and they charged the cannons. They knew they were going to die, but it was worth it for them, sacrificing for future generations' freedom. They're the ones who prayed in the trenches and suffered in the POW camps. They gave their lives so that we could be here today. You and I are blessed to be born the heirs of freedom. Today that we are the heirs of that first revolution. We are the heirs of those who froze with Washington at Valley Forge and who held the line at Gettysburg, who freed the slaves to close a shameful chapter, and who carved a nation out of the wilderness. We're the sons and daughters of those who stormed the beaches of Normandy and raised the flag at Iwo Jima and made America the strongest, the most prosperous, the greatest nation on earth forever in mankind's history, the greatest, most exceptional nation. America, we will always endure. We will always come through. We will never give up. We shall endure because we live by that moral strength that we call grace. Because though we've often skirted a precipice, a providential hand has always guided us to a better future. So let us seek that hand once more. Or Ronald Reagan said, if we ever forget that we are one nation under God,